Morning, Raptor Freak Alexiot's here. It's Monday morning, and on Mondays I do a thing called the Monday Memories. And today's Monday Memory is a couple of them. The first one I want to talk about, though, is directly correlated and connected to my grandmother who turned 100 yesterday. It was a great party. It was a lot of my family was there, and it was just really nice to have everybody together and celebrate her 100th birthday. She got a card that said 100 on it, and she kept looking at it and saying, "What year is it this year?" And we kept telling her it's 2022, and she'd say, "I was born in 1922." So we were like, "Yeah, you're 100, you're 100," and she was so proud. It's so crazy. But I just wanted to share a special Raptor Freak Monday memory about my grandmother and me at a Raptors game. That on January the 26th, 1999, the Raptors organization made a miscalculation about how much people really like free things, how much people actually are very interested in Raptor basketball. Because you got to remember, 99, this is before Vince really blew up in January of 99. He was just about to, he just shown up, and that they had a shortened season because of the strike, and they were just revving up a new season. Well, what MLSE decided to do was, let's give out free tickets to the fans for this game at Skydome. This was not at Air Canada Center because the Scotiabank Arena Air Canada Center had not opened yet. It was brand new. They were finishing building it, and before they actually had it done in 1999, they had to play games in the Skydome and at Maple Leaf Gardens. So this was a game that was against, I think it was against the Celtics, and it was in the Skydome. And what they had done is they had announced to the public that there would be free tickets. So everybody was down there. There were probably about 5,000 people down there at the building on the outside. But once again, they did not provide the kind of like logistics planning that you need to handle big crowds. And they had no plan for this, no kind of queue set up, no extra security to look out for things. They just figured, well, it's free, it's the Raptors, who cares? They're not going to, and nobody's going to come. Well, they really underestimated how many people would want to be down there. And me, crazy me, goes down there with my 79-year-old grandmother. That's right. She was 79 at the time in 1999, and she wanted to go to the game with me. So we went down there, and it was crazy. I'm not going to lie. The scene outside the Skydome that day was very hectic and very crowded and congested, and a lot of people pushing to get towards the door when they were opening the door because they all thought they could run in and get the best seats. Well, they didn't tell us that the seats were all going to be only on the very highest level, the 300 level, and that there's no real reason to rush in there and get the seats. It's just very poorly planned. And there's going to be another thing that I talk about that was like this, similar to this in a little bit. But yeah, it was really bad. Now, we stayed on the perimeter kind of back. We did not get right in the middle of it all. We were smart. We were just using our heads. But some people were pushed into the doors of the Skydome and like broke the doors. Like it was that bad, the crush coming in. Now, I don't think anybody died that day, but there were some injuries, and it was just silly. It was like I said, it was for the 300 level, and everybody was going to get in because there was tons of seats, and you can see it everywhere. And obviously in Skydome with the basketball game and the 300 level, it's a little bit much like you need those binoculars. You need something you can see a little bit further to see what's going on. But we got in there, and I'll always remember this memory because of my grandmother, her being with me in such a chaotic scene and trying to protect her and keep everything fine. But we were pretty safe because we weren't anxious like everybody. And we hung back and watched how the crowd moved and stuff like that. As soon as we got in there and we sat in our seats, the game started. I was all about watching the game. My grandmother closed her eyes and took a nice sleep. That's right. She slept through most of the game, but I was just so happy to share that Raptor Freak Monday memory with her. January 26, 1999. Not necessarily one of the best Raptor Freak Monday moments, but it will always be special to me because I shared it with my grandmother who turned 100 yesterday. So there's my Raptor Freak Monday memory for you. And, it's not the best story. And actually, I was like, you know what? Today's 3 years after this, baby, is after the championship that we won on June the 13th, 2019. 3 years ago today. And that's such a fantastic day. But of course, there was another logistical nightmare spawned from our championship, which was the parade. Once again, they underestimated the power and the volume of Raptor fans, that they did not realize how many people would be coming to the championship parade when we won. There were so many more people than they thought. And I love that we are more bigger and badder than people think, Raptor Nation, and that they underestimate us. Basically, they should have had more what should we call it, barriers at the start of the parade route at the Princess of Wales gates at CNE grounds, and that because they didn't have these barriers to keep the crowd away from the buses couldn't pull out. And then there was a 2-hour delay on the whole championship parade, just trying to get things cleared out at the start of the parade route so the buses could come through clear through the crowd, because the crowd didn't have anything holding them back and they were right up on the buses. And there's a weird curvy road down by those gates that they couldn't get around with the people and be safe. It's like the police literally had to come down there with their bikes and hold their bikes to hold people back so they could make room for the buses to come through. And that did not happen quick. And it was a hot day, and that delayed everything 2 hours. So you had people all along the parade route sitting out in the heat, getting dehydrated, and they got their water. And, there were a couple of sad things that happened that day. I won't go into them too much right now. But yeah, this is a great day to celebrate also. 3 years ago today, the Raptors beat the Warriors in Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals, and they became NBA champions. Yes! Yes! And speaking of the Warriors in the finals, crucial Game 5 tonight in Golden State. I looked at the refs. They're getting some interesting refs tonight for Game 5. Mark Davis and Tony Brothers are reffing tonight, y'all. So it's going to be a very interesting Game 5. I'm totally predicting whoever wins the game tonight will win the championship this year. That Warriors, protect your home court, keep the momentum from the last game that Steph built with his amazing play, and win tonight. Because this is why I'm wearing blue, is because I want y'all to beat the Boston Celtics for the championship this year. And please do it, Warriors. Win tonight. So the injuries are very similar to what they've been this whole series. Robert Williams III is questionable tonight, but he will most likely play. Otto Porter Jr. and Andre Iguodala are both still day-to-day questionable, but they should be available, at least Otto Porter for sure, and then James Wiseman's out for sure. So that is your injury report for Finals Game 5 tonight. Golden State, Boston. You go, Dub Nation. You need to win this one, because I am serious. Whoever wins this Game 5 tonight is going to win the championship. I'm going to tell you that right now. Good morning, Tom Duke. Good to see you hanging with your bro yesterday. Awesome story about getting free tickets with grandma. All great stuff. It was a fun day, but I didn't like that they didn't organize it well and people got hurt. That was not a good thing about January 26, 1999. All right, so here, moving on to the next part of my thing to this morning. We're going to keep it short. Scotty Barnes jumped on Twitch again last night at around 11:30 last night. He was on till almost 2 o'clock. Kept me up late talking to him, seeing what's up with Scotty, Big Roy, Big Four, Barnes. And man, this guy, he's hilarious, y'all. He is funny. He's going to be doing these Twitches regularly. I can already tell. He was already telling us kind of when he's going to be on again. In fact, he might be on tonight, just so y'all know. Heads up. And I asked him directly last night. I was like, Scottie Wayne, do you like Batman? And he told me, no, I'm not really a big Batman fan. He didn't have any powers. He's just an ordinary dude, a rich dude, and he's more of an Incredible Hulk guy. He's more of he's really impressed with Scarlet Witch also, especially from the newer series that they've done with Scarlet Witch on Marvel and stuff like that. So it was cool. We were talking comic book characters last night. Who's Scotty's favorite comic book characters and things like that. There were other topics of conversation that were quite interesting last night. We found out last night in the stream that Scotty is also a huge fan of Degrassi. He watched all the Degrassi shows and he is big fan of it. So this can't hurt our chances here in Toronto of retaining him, keeping him in the land of Degrassi. That is Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and he is all about Degrassi and the stories, and he knows all about that show. We were listening to him talk about Degrassi last night. It's very, very fun that he is into a Canadian show like that. That he was into it when he was younger, before anywhere near he was going to be coming to Toronto. So this is pretty cool. And then another interesting thing happened in the game. Once again, he has, all right, his team is interesting. He plays with good friends of his, and he's really good himself. Like, this is the thing. You've got the rookie of the year in an NBA 2K virtual world. This man knows where to position his body for defense and boxing out and guarding the other players and doing all this stuff. He's a professionally trained basketball player. Now, the other guys on his team, his friends, they are not. I'm just got to say this right now. They are bad. Like, there's really, like, out of the 5 of them on their team, there's only Scotty and Chunky Monkey that really hold water and carry water for them. The other guys are kind of dead weight in some ways. I hate to say it, but in this world, in playing virtual games, you want to be connected to your friends. So he's going to play with the people that he wants to, and they're going to be as good as they're going to be. But it is really interesting to see how bad they are on defense, because they went on a bad losing streak last night. They lost every game they played except for the last one that they played at the end. And it's just really because they're not organized on defense. They have no seal. That there's a backdoor problem with this game where guys are getting right around people like Lloyd and Jay, and yeah, it's not good. They're not going to be able to consistently win on NBA 2K as a unit until they rein it in and start boxing out and stopping these backdoor cuts where guys are just going behind them and slamming the ball in. Scotty's calling them out. He's like, where's the backdoor help? And stuff like that. And it's true. Lloyd, you got better as the night went on, but Lloyd got a lot of grief from the chat last night. I'm going to say that. He was being compared to a lot of foods and, other celebrities and weird stuff like that, too. But yeah, it was fun, like, to watch them. And Scotty was getting frustrated, but it really is that his team was not up to par. These guys are not professional basketball players, and they do not understand spacing. They do not understand where to stand. They may not even understand which button to hit in what moment, because they're not jumping the block. They may be turning around and over in this other place when the guy's going right to the basket. That's got to be frustrating. And then people that are watching are like, oh, yo, I can get in there and help you right away. I don't know what to do with that, Scotty. In fact, the other night when you played by yourself, Scotty Barnes, you were dominant. It's just your friends aren't that good, and they're dragging you down. It's too bad. And then another thing on Scotty that was just, all right, let me just answer Tom Duke's thing. Any progress on Scotty's nickname? All right, I threw both of them at him again last night. He kind of saw the Dread Baron nickname. I said, Dread Baron, Scotty Von Barnstormer. He looked at it for a second. He didn't say it out loud, but he thought about it. He did see it. I did, when I wrote it in, he looked at it for a second. He thought about it. I wrote Dread Baron, Scotty Von Barnstormer. So maybe he thinks about it. Maybe that's in the circulation in his head, as far as like, maybe this is something he wants to promote. He was thinking about it. I could tell. And at the very beginning, when I put Scotty Basketball, I said, Scotty Basketball, he eats, breathes basketball. That was, I don't know if you saw that one. So, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. Well, we can use different sections of it, Tom. We don't necessarily have to say the whole thing. We could just say Dread Baron. You just say Barnstormer or Scotty Vaughn. Those kind, shorten the different parts of it. It's just that the elongated, this is very Daryl Dawkins. Daryl Dawkins is like the Lovetron, like nicknames and all this kind of stuff. You want a nickname like that, Scotty Barnes, you could be this and have something like the round mound of rebound or, like that. There's some really epic nicknames, but you can tell in a way there is somewhat a search to figure out what might be his nickname and what will stick. We were talking about Claw 2 last night, and not as a nickname, but because of things that were happening in the game. Listen, y'all, this is a really interesting story about this, too. Scottie, in the middle of the game, he kept hitting timeout by accident on his controller. Seriously, he wasn't meaning to, and it was his hands. He was like, my damn big hands. They keep hitting timeout, and I don't mean to. Like, it's crazy. Like, they're playing, and he's about to make a move, and because his hands are giant. Like, he has Kawhi Leonard size hands. He's hitting a button he didn't mean and it's causing them to go to timeout in the middle of a play. And he's like, oh, my giant hands. He's getting all mad about his hands in the video game. It's like, we need to get this man a custom controller. Somebody at PlayStation needs to hear the pleas of Scottie Barnes and his giant hands. Make him a giant controller for PlayStation so the man can play clean, because his hands are literally causing him to hit buttons he doesn't mean to because there's so much hand. Oh my gosh, there's so much hand. I mean, this is a great problem. And this is fine with me, because on the basketball court in real life, this is a great thing. But in the video game, it is bothering him. And it kept happening last night. He was getting frustrated. But once again, it's just so fun to sit and watch Scottie in his own bedroom in South Florida. He was back at home in Miami, not in Miami, West Palm, in his own bedroom. You could see the Michael Jordan picture in the back wall and a couple of his trophies on the dresser. And he was eating chips again. And they had to confirm what type of chips, because everybody thinks he's linked to ketchup chips, but he's not. He was eating barbecue chips. We also got to remember that he was in Florida, so he has no access to fresh ketchup chips in Florida. So he was eating Lay's wavy barbecue chips, and he brought the bag up and showed everybody it. And he was, I don't know, because he wants to make it very clear what his chip preferences are, because he was put on with the ketchup chips for a little while in the last 2 weeks. And that's not fair. He's not with the ketchup chips. He's a barbecue chip guy. And it's not a slight to Canada, because he loves Degrassi, y'all. So listen, we got to take the good and the bad with him with Canadian culture. And ketchup chips is a battle we don't need to win. Let him have whatever chips he wants. Seriously. So let's see what else is going on here. David's here. Good morning, David. Good to see you, Freakazoid. Wow. All right, let's see. Tom Duke. Yeah, I talked about the nickname stuff. Do you like the Dread Baron? I like the Dread Baron too, especially when he has it all twisted up and like wild, like Dread Baron flies again. Just imagine the call by Matt Devlin. The Dread Baron flies again. Just when he goes in and just like, hello, Dread Baron. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to celebrate a German playing ace pilot, but we'll see. Who knows? I like that. Big Four is a really good nickname too, and that's the one he's using. You're right, G. That's the one he's using himself. And we should just take direction from him. Like, we have a history of giving nicknames to the Raptors that they don't necessarily like. Like, whoever made up that nickname, Bulldog of Bay Street, for Kyle Lowry, that was bad, because Kyle hated that nickname. He absolutely hated that nickname, and when people were calling that. And I'm going to tell you all the truth. Pascal is not big on Spicy P. We use Spicy P, and it's accepted. And it will stick, obviously, because it has. But it's not his first choice. It never really was. And it kind of was something that got out of control. And now it's just a part of his zeitgeist that he can't do anything about it. So this is a very tricky thing, the nickname thing for players and stuff like that. But, it's going to be very interesting to see how it shakes out with Scottie, what settles with what it is. G saying, I like Scottie's Showtime, but that may be too Magic or Lakers. Like, yeah, I'm going to say that right now. We do not want to do that, because that is probably what the Lakers fans are going to call him, as far as them coveting him to come there and stuff like that. So Big Four is good. I'm not a big fan of Scottie Showtime. I'm rather Scottie basketball, because he's just so generally in love with basketball. He seriously is. Like, seriously, this man played a whole NBA season. He had all the stuff before, like summer league, training camp. He has had a whole year of basketball in a row, and the man could play any video game he wants on Twitch at night, and he chooses to play NBA 2K. This man is basketball in his genes and his life. He breathes basketball like it's air. And that's why I'm saying Scotty basketball makes sense in some ways. Big Four can't be messed with either. Yeah, Big Four is a good one. Big Four, Big Four. It's a nice one, but we may find that there's something else. We need something that Matt Devlin can yell in a crazy loud voice. Matt Devlin, Big Floor. Like we need something like that. That is really where the nickname is most important, is in the delivery out of Matt Devlin's lips and how he can accentuate a highlight with the verbal dressing of Matt Devlin's enthusiasm and excitement. You know, P skills, spicy P, spin cycle. That kind of shit. We need something that'll fit in with that. So, all right, let's see what's up. G said he watched half of Hustle. Sergio and Kyle are representing. I also heard that there's another Raptor in there, a Raptor that's from Japan that's in this movie also at some point. I'm not sure when or where, but that's what I heard, G. But yeah, that's cool. We were talking about Hustle last night, and Scotty has not seen it yet. He's very intrigued. He's going to want to see it soon, as am I. But we were talking about it a little bit and trying not to give him any spoilers. But very much people in the feed were very like, that is a good movie. People were saying 4.5 out of 5 stars rating for Hustle in the movie and stuff like that. So I'm only hearing good things. G saying Big Four is perfect. He won't go to another team now, especially with players with the number 4 on the team. Yeah, I like that. And he can't go to Miami then because what? Didn't they retire number 4 in Miami? So you can never play for the Heat if you want to keep your 4, because that is Dwayne Wade's number, and it's not going to be brought down from the rafters. I'm pretty sure they're not going to let anybody else wear number 4 in Miami. So maybe that's true, G. Then maybe we should solidify this and go around the league and see how many number 4s are retired on other teams, and then realize maybe these are teams that will not be in his future, in his career. Hopefully he's just like his hero, Magic Johnson, and he plays for one team his whole career. Yeah, Tom Duke is saying Hustle made me tear up a bunch at Raymond. Yeah, I'm hearing that there's a little bit of an emotional roller coaster at times with this movie. This is what movies are supposed to do. They're supposed to touch your feelings and have you feel them, get some feels. And, in all kinds of different ways, whether it's anger and indignation, or whether it's cheerful jubilance, or maybe a little melancholy sadness. That is what movies are made for, to make you feel the feels. And a good movie will do that. All right, let's see. Barn fire. Barns fire. Barns fire. Fire barns. Barns fire. I don't know. I still like the barnstormer. If we're going to talk about a barn like in a farm, let's talk about a plane flying through the entrance of it and flying out the other side like a barnstormer would. There were a couple of really early video games. I think there was one on Atari called Barnstormer, and it was all about flying that plane right through that small that door in the barn, flying it right in through there and getting out the other side. That's what a barnstormer is. And that's kind of why I like that one in particular. But a barn fire, that could be closely related to a dumpster fire. And we don't want anything on fire unless it's his shot. So I don't know. I'm trying to think about all the aspects where we could get in trouble with people like saying, yeah, barn fire, that was a real, destructive fire or something like that. Stuff like that. All right, Tom Duke saying, make Big Four stick, and he stays here to retire the number. Yeah, I hope so. Chris Bosh ain't going to get that number retired for him. He's the 4 before, and he's not going to get that number retired for the Raptors. So, Scotty, you go ahead and make number 4 your number up in the Raptors next to Kyle Lowry's number 7. Eventually, that is what I'm saying. Tom Duke's saying, amazing how many guys were in the movie. This is the thing. I mean, these guys have seen Uncut Gems. They've seen the fun that Kevin Garnett had doing the acting thing with them. If Adam Sandler gets you on the phone, he's saying, I'd like you to be in this movie with me. If you could come here. He sounds like Grover. I didn't do a good Adam Sandler. But anyway, maybe he is a little bit of like want to touch the hiney guy. But whatever. If he called you and he said he wanted you to be in a movie, you'd be like, yeah, just tell me when and I'm there. And I think that's what a lot of this happened with the NBA guys and the cameos that happen in this thing. It's like he has a reputation now. And it could be that Adam Sandler can make some amazing movies with NBA personalities at this point because he's got a good reputation of making very high quality, badass movies and making these basketball players look like good actors because it could be. I'm hearing Anthony Edwards, not the one that's in Top Gun or who was a Revenge of the Nerds guy who was on ER or any of that. He is actually a good actor in this movie. And who knows? He may have an acting career just because he's in Hustle now. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Let's see. David S. is saying it was funny that literally everyone from the Sixers made an appearance in the movie except Big Baby Joel Embiid. Oh my gosh, yes, that's what I hear. That he's the only one really from the Sixers that is not in this movie. Maybe they couldn't afford his babiness. I don't know. Maybe he was like, I don't want to be in this movie. They'll make jokes of me. It's Adam Sandler. Maybe he just didn't know. I don't know. Who cares? I'm glad he's not in it. Oh yeah. David S. is saying that guy is so self-involved. He couldn't even be bothered to participate in the movie. Who knows what the reason is, David? And we don't really care. It could be that Adam Sandler brought him in and he said, can you read this line, Joel? And he started to read and he's like, man, your delivery is really bad. And it's like, sorry, we'll use Tyrese. It was kind of like that, maybe like that. G was saying they talked about trading Embiid in the movie. That's even more cool. I like that. You guys are spoiling this movie for me, but I love it. It's fine because we're on Raptor Freak channel and I will get to see it soon. I maybe should have watched it at my girlfriend's house last night, but I didn't. I should have maybe done that. But then again, I wouldn't have seen Scotty Barnes Twitch for 2 hours if I'd done that. So yeah, David's saying laugh out loud. That's funny. Tom Duke is saying, yeah, that was great. Also point out how brutal the Sixers fans are. That's great. Okay, good. This is a fair and balanced movie that Adam Sandler put out, and he's trying to paint a realistic light of Sixers Nation. That's good. That's good. That'll ground the movie in reality and make the story more come alive. If you have the realistic settings of a shitty fan base, is what I'm saying. Except for our friends that come here and watch me, like Random Gamer and Blue City and those guys. You guys are cool. I'm just saying that you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah. G saying Anthony Edwards is good. He's good. And we're not talking about that nerd guy. Nerds. You know what I'm saying? All right. I want to see this. I'm excited. You guys are just seeing it. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, David. It's all right. Don't worry. I've been real busy with family being in town and stuff like that. So anyway, just to recap, Scotty Barnes, he's a big Degrassi fan. His hands are too big for his PlayStation controller, so he continuously hits timeout by accident, like when he shouldn't, because he's just about to make a shot, and it's really frustrating. And his teammates aren't that good, except for Chunky Monkey. He's really good. He plays really well, except there's a knock on him that he doesn't play any defense, but he scores a lot at least. And then, he's a big fan of the Hulk, not so much the Batman and stuff like that. So just a fun one, fact finding and interesting mission to watch Scotty on the Twitch playing PlayStation 2K, NBA 2K and stuff like that. Yeah, my brother's pretty good. He's not here this morning, but I'll be seeing him later on today and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really good that he was here and he saw all the family yesterday at my grandmother's 100th birthday. It's fantastic. She's such a belle of the ball yesterday and just soaking in the love and having all of her loved ones around her and just having a nice time, stuff like that. So G saying, I have come to realize all fan bases are good and bad. And now that we are out of the playoffs, I even miss the rivalry and craziness between the fans. Yeah. Yeah. Well, these motherfuckers were coming in here yesterday. We had Philly fan come in here and try me yesterday just for no reason. He tried to tell me that Joel Embiid owns us. And yeah, we're like, come on, man. You can't really brag on that right now. So good. All right, Warriors, you need to win tonight. Whoever wins game 5 tonight with Tony Brothers and Mark Davis are reffing. Whoever wins game 5 tonight in San Francisco is going to win the championship. Mark my word right now. So really tonight may be the most important game of the finals right now. Game 5. It usually is, especially when a series is tied. So yeah. And then like I said, I did a little bit of a Monday memory talking about my grandmother going to Skydome and being involved in that crazy day when people got crushed up against the doors and, just trying to protect my grandmother and keep her safe and stuff like that. But yeah, all right. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow's a very special trivia, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. Tomorrow is going to probably be the last trivia of season 1 of Raptor Freak Trivia. G, the champion, is here. You are going to be the champion. It just goes without saying. So we will play a game tomorrow as a formality, even though we know you're going to win. It'll be fun. We'll all play. I'm not going to tell you all the subject because I do want you guys to go in blind. And, we're going to hopefully be crowning we'll be crowning G a champion tomorrow, most likely. But I'd love everybody to come and compete against Raptor Freak champion season number 1, G, who's going to be getting that practice jersey from Jerome Williams, signed by Jerome Williams. I will be sending it to you sometime very soon, G. But yeah, come in and just play for fun. And then y'all listen. That means next Tuesday, the slates are wiped clean. All y'all start at zeros and we start over again. And the next time somebody wins will be the next time somebody wins the Larry O'Brien. And that'll be a whole year from now. So we're going to have a lot of trivia to play to try and get to the second championship. So yeah. All right. Tom's saying that my brother and I look alike. We really do. We have the same hairstyle. In fact, at one point yesterday, they were taking a picture of just my brother and I, and we had a picture with our hats on, and then we took a picture with our hats off to show that we have the exact same hairstyle at this point in our 40s. So yeah, it was pretty cool to be there with everybody and see everyone. It was too bad not everybody in the family got to make it. Different things happened for different people, travel concerns and pandemic stuff. And it sucks because yeah, it really was sad that some of my family members didn't make it, which is too bad. But G's gonna get hard fouled tomorrow. Tom's coming after you. This was hockey. You're going up against the boards, G. Oh my gosh, this is great. Yeah, I hope you guys all make it tomorrow and just play the last game of the season. It's Raptor Free Trivia. And we'll all give the big kudos to G for being such a badass this year and consistently showing up for the trivia to get points and also dominating often very much in different weeks also. So thanks, guys. I'm just going to wrap up here at 30 minutes. Thanks for sharing a Raptor Freak Monday memory. And what a great memory 3 years ago today. June the 13th, 2019, the Raptors won their first championship. And as I said, it's their first. And we're not going to characterize it as their championship. There's many to come. And that's what we say in the stream with Scottie, that they're coming. When we put Raptors championship 2023, he's like, that, yeah, I'm all about that. And that's where his goals are. So check out the stream from Scottie's Twitch last night. It's fun. It's a little crazy. They're always a different flavor every time. He actually had huge numbers of viewers last night. At one point, he got up to 600 people watching him at like 1 in the morning last night. This is a Sunday night going into Monday morning where people have to work, and there's like 600 people on Twitch watching him play. So good to see you, Shane. Glad you made it. And Tom Duke, thank you as always for everything. G, David, everybody's watched today. I appreciate you all. Please hit that subscribe button. It's really helping the Raptor Freak Nation grow and the channel get bigger and stuff like that. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll be back for the championship final round of Raptor Freak Trivia tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Raptor Freak Daily. Every day live streaming with the Raptor Freak cult. We are an entity in the sports fandom of this world, and we will be heard, and we will protect our team and help them strive towards more Larry O'Briens. Let's go Raptors, baby. And yeah, how sweet it is. 3 years ago, a championship was brought to Toronto. And hopefully the Warriors will win tonight and make sure that they win the one for this year. Let's go! Ooh, ooh.